This was a total ambush. These firefighters did not have a chance.
2 firefighters are dead. Another is at the hospital, victims of a gunman who used a fire to lure them in. A heartbreaking day and a terrifying one in Coeur d'Alene and throughout our community. Thanks for being with us all afternoon and through the evening. I'm Jordan Smith.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. What started with a fire on Canfield Mountain quickly turned into a life or death scenario. A gunman who investigators say started that fire on purpose, then opened fire on the men who came to put it out. First, you should know tonight, the sheriff says the gunman is dead, found in the woods with a gun nearby. And the sheriff also says the threat to the community is over. This all happened in the popular hiking and recreation area north of I-90 in Coeur d'Alene. 40 minutes after that first call came in, firefighters called in and said they'd been shot. For the next several hours, it was a race against time to get them help and to stop the gunman.
2 firefighters were killed. The sheriff said they didn't stand a chance. Tonight, people lined the 36-mile drive from Coeur d'Alene down Interstate 90 to the medical examiner's office in Spokane. A solemn honor for 1 firefighter from Coeur d'Alene and 1 from Kootenai Fire and Rescue. A 3rd firefighter is still in the hospital tonight.
We've had team coverage all day today on TV and online to keep you informed as the situation evolved. We continue that team coverage live from the scene now. Mary Sheridan on the deaths of those firefighters. First, though, Hunter Bertram, who's been at the crime scene all afternoon. Hunter?
Yeah, Kirsten, we're standing just in front of Coeur d'Alene Fire Station 3 near Cherry Hill Dog Park, a very popular place that's just beneath Best Hill, which butts up right to the mountain where the shooting happened. And you can actually see here at Station 3, the flag in the distance waving out front is half-mast, showing the respect to the slain firefighters killed today. And as you said, it's been an ongoing situation. This is where the command post initially had happened, just behind this fire station. Over 300 law enforcement personnel from everywhere across the state, also Montana and Washington, including the FBI, Homeland Security, many individuals here assisting in the efforts to take out the gunman. And an interesting thing that was said earlier, Kootenai County Sheriff Bob Norris had said earlier in a press conference that these fires were believed to be set intentional to draw these firefighters in. Have a listen.
We do believe that the suspect started the fire, and we do believe that it was an ambush and it was intentional.
And you heard it right there, ambush, intentional drawing in these firefighters and then ultimately opening fire on them. We were told earlier, too, that they were able to decipher a weapon earlier, just depending on the gunshots that were being fired at firefighters. Also, law enforcement saying it was a modern sportsman rifle that was being shot at them, also from multiple areas on the mountain, and not from a cabin or a home or anything like that. They say it was from dense brush piles, areas on the mountain that might be hard to see, was where the gunfire was being sprayed from the shooter.
All right, Hunter, thank you for that. And this was the scene tonight down Interstate 90. First responders from throughout the region in a powerful and somber procession from the hospital in Coeur d'Alene to the medical examiner's office in Spokane. That's where their autopsies will be conducted. The community wasted no time honoring these heroes with a powerful show of support. People lined the overpasses, some waving flags, others stopping to salute.
And we know that this is just the beginning of how our community will rally for these fallen heroes. Mary Sheridan was there when that procession began. She watched it just outside of Kootenai Health. Mary, a powerful moment on a really tough day.
Kirsten, that's right. And the mood outside of Kootenai Health shifted from urgent to somber during this afternoon's processional. I want to take you to that processional. I'm going to show you footage from earlier this afternoon. Law enforcement vehicles lined the streets surrounding the medical center. Fire trucks and sheriff's cars waited patiently to accompany the bodies of the 2 firefighters who were shot and killed today. Their bodies were sent to Spokane for an autopsy. Some community members chose to join them, standing along the road, waving flags to pay their respects to the fallen firefighters.
Just came out to show support and honor the people that lost their lives just trying to do the job that they do every day.
Others who paid their respects today told me that their hearts ache for those affected. And heartache was also something that was touched on in today's press conference today here in Coeur d'Alene, and just the impact that this ambush is having on local law enforcement. It was also confirmed today that 3 firefighters were shot. 2 of them were killed, and the 3rd one is recovering from surgery here in Kootenai Health. Reporting live in Coeur d'Alene, Mary Sheridan, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Mary, for walking us through that and for being there through the day. Of course, that procession ended just a few miles from where we're sitting. And Jordan, you were actually there at the scene.
Yeah, I was up on the Arthur Street overpass waiting for this procession to come into town. And just as Mary was talking about, such an emotional journey and so many emotional sights and sounds once they got into town here. And I think we've got the video we could play here. And you can see as they're coming in here, that's on 2nd Avenue, just a line of first responders, police greeting them, saluting as they're coming into town here, and just a wall of ambulance, fire trucks, police, all in solidarity for these fallen firefighters. And that ended at the Spokane Medical Examiner's office, surrounded by more than 100 first responders from agencies all over the region, giving one final salute to the family as they drove away. And just being in that moment, you could just, I mean, it was a gut punch to see that, but it was just the remarkable solidarity that these first responders showed in this awful, awful situation that's transpired here today.
Absolutely. What a unison moment for so many families in our community and across the country who are watching this unfold. It became national headlines very quickly, and I think that the first responder community came out in support tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Standing arm in arm and together, and just a lot to try to process for everybody, much less those first responders and, of course, those families there tonight. So.